Hi guys, welcome to SimLive. My name is Kiki and this video will be part of a tutorial series where I'll be modeling some custom content for the character Lara Croft from Shadow of the Tomb Raider in stages. So today we're going to start off with her hair. So we're back with part 2 of meshing the hair, and so basically we're just going to extend the edge loop that we have around the head and pull it backwards, but that is going to take some adjusting, and as you can see that these faces are just pointing in the wrong direction, so I'm just flipping them back around. And if you want to size up or size down along the normals, or rather shrink or enlarge, you can press Alt and then S, and then you can size up and down like that. It's very simple. So as you can see, because this is based off the hairline, there's just a weird wiggle in there that with each step that I'm going backwards, or each extrusion, I'm just trying to make that a bit more straight, and I'm just hiding the front hair at the moment so that there's not too many vertices blocking my view, as I have what is the name of that button? Limit selection to visible. That is the name of that button. So I can see what is behind the head as well. I can see through the mesh. And sometimes if you have too many vertices, that can just get a little bit confusing, which is why I've hidden the front bangs, even though we just spent ages modeling them. So I'm just extruding it backwards, and as I'm going, I'm adjusting it to make it straight. And as you can see at the bottom, that is creating some issues, but I'll address that in a second. Like, it's very wrinkly, and as you can see, it's a little bit wonky all over the place. It's not really centered, so I'm just going to try and smooth the mesh as much as I can to try and adjust that as much as I can. And this as well, just smoothing it. So you can select, usually I just use the circular selection tool. You can use the lasso tool as well, but I personally found out about how to use the lasso selection tool quite late, so I hardly ever use it now because it's just not in my system. I more use the circular selection tool, and that'll do. Hair's never perfect, so that's fine. I've never held a ruler to my ponytail. So now I'm just going to, because as you can see from the picture, my turnaround picture, that the lower half of that ponytail, sort of the bit that's a bit more loose at the bottom, I was just trying to pull that down to make that match up, but I'm not going to be too perfect about it. So now I'm just selecting edge loops just from the head, and then I'm going to, I think these I'm going to expand because this mesh is quite close to the head, so I just have to expand it to be able to shrink the other bit to create bits where the hair bunches up, and it bunches up more at the back because it's all collected at the back into a ponytail. So now I'm just selecting edge loops and deleting or deselecting what I don't want to affect, to then shrink to create that bunched up look. There we are. And as you can see, it's kind of and then I've just used the edge sharpen to just increase that effect without adding too many edge loops. And what was I going to? Oh yeah, some bits of the mesh are actually clipping through her head at the moment, so I'll have to adjust those vertices myself. So now I'm just extruding the bobble or the hair tie. That will become the pony, that will hold the ponytail. And usually, you know, when you put a hair bubble in your hair, it will cross over from where you twist it and pull your hair through, but I'm not going to be that precise. Just a double hair bubble, that'll do. That will give the illusion that we need. So I've just edge creased that bit as well. So that is just a way to get things to look a bit sharper without adding extra edge loops, and that will keep the faces and the vertices down. And now we're already up to the ponytail, so you can definitely see that this part of the hair is a lot quicker to model than the bangs were. As you can see that the hair does go way past the shoulders from the sim, so we will have to weight paint that later to make sure that that doesn't clip through the body. And now I'm just going to use that same technique of shrinking and expanding to create hair locks. And I've also sharpened the edges there as well. So I've just hidden the rest of the hair just to get better visibility, because now what I want to do is I want to create several locks of hair at the bottom, like the hair's just, you know, thinned out, parted a bit more. It's never like full on solid. And it is a bit of trial and error just to find what looks natural in this stylized look. You'll see me going one way and then trying out a different way, just, you know, curving it in a different way to see if that looks more natural. And yeah, just adjusting it until it sort of looks natural. As natural as this Max's Match look can be, eh? So right now we've got some good locks coming down from the side, but of course it looks a bit strange from the back view, so I'm just going to split all these locks into to create a bit more movement in the hair. So that's the bottom of the hair done, and I do want to give it a little bit more movement, playfulness in the rest of the ponytail, some more locks of hair that are coming free, springing free. So this is my first attempt on the side here, and I got it to look okay. But definitely the approach I take to this after this lock works a lot better. Right now you can see that that looks very awkward, more like a talon coming out, but in the end it will look a bit more natural than what it looks like now. So the approach that I'm taking here is definitely a lot quicker and looks a bit more natural than the other side. So I'm just pulling that out and then pulling this one back in, and then I just extrude this bit. And as you can see, that immediately creates that look that I struggled so much with on the other side. And then I'm just gonna do another bit at the top, and that should be detailed enough for this look, I think. So now it's on to the little neck side floofs. So I'm just hiding the ponytail to get that out of the way. If you go into wireframe mode, you will still see your hidden selection. But in this mode, solid mode, you can't. So it works well for that one. So I've just moved these around to create a sort of rounded shape that I can then extrude into a neck floof, which is also known as stray hairs. So I'm just breaking up this lock of hair into 2 locks of hair, which I'm going off the turnaround picture a little bit for that, but I just thought the thickness of it just looked very unnatural. So I'm splitting this lock in 2, just so it's not like an entire ponytail coming loose from her ponytail. And I am struggling a little bit just to give that a sort of natural fall to the front. I think in the end it looks quite alright, but it was certainly a bit of wiggling around with the vertices. And that would do one just at the nape of the neck. I know I always have hairs that come free there. And I was doing this show where I had to have 2 ponytails, and my colleague was driven mad by them. She's just like, fix that rat tail! So now I have the association of a rat's tail with having hair free at the nape of the neck. But hey, it just doesn't want to go in the ponytail, okay? It just doesn't want to. And especially with this lock of hair, I was really struggling to try and get a natural movement because I wanted it to go forwards, but it does need to look natural, not like it's defying gravity. So it was a lot of wiggling around for this one. And then I'm just going to add some extra edge creases, just because these do not belong to that main body of hair. They've literally sprung free. So I don't want to look like that would just continue from the ponytail all the way down. And now I'm just applying a modifier, the surf modifier, and I actually applied it at 1, even though I was meshing with it on 2. But you know, the higher that subsurf modifier is when you apply it, the more faces and vertices you're going to get. And I thought, you know what, we're getting away with having it at 1, especially once it will have a texture on it. So that's why I chose that. And now I've just removed the hairline, and I'm adding this hairline in, and that will complete this part of the hair meshing. So next up, we're going to be creating the UV map 1 and UV map 0, so we can create a texture, and also so that we can make it slider compatible. So hopefully you'll join me next time. See you later and have a lovely day. Bye bye.